You know, the thing about truly embarrassing moments is they always catch you wearing the wrong clothes. Like, you're just running late, you throw on whatever's clean. Faded jeans, a comfy white tee, these beat-up canvas sneakers I love, and suddenly, you're the star of a drama you didn't audition for. But this wasn't just a bad look day. This was the moment I realized just how little a title matters when your skin is black, and your outfit says Casual Friday instead of billion-dollar CEO. It was 11:47 p.m., and I was dead on my feet. I had less than 8 minutes before a massive $200 million call with Yamamoto Industries in Tokyo, a deal I'd spent 6 months stitching together. I just needed to check in, get to my private floor, and nail the presentation. The place? It was the Argent Grand Hotel, Chicago's jewel box, imported Italian marble, crystal chandeliers the size of small cars, that whole vibe. And yeah, I owned it, or rather my company did. We'd acquired the Argent Group 6 months earlier, and this Chicago location was my first deep dive audit. I walked up to the reception desk. My worn leather messenger bag felt heavy, not with just my laptop and papers, but with the exhaustion of a 6-month acquisition. I put my Centurion card, my sleek black American Express, the one that screams unlimited, onto the cool marble. The night manager, Gareth Wallace. He was exactly the kind of guy who thought a $1,000 suit gave him the authority of God. He didn't look at my face. He looked down his nose. His eyes, they just skimmed my jeans, my sneakers, and then they locked onto the card. That's where the nightmare began. "Get your ghetto ass out of my hotel before I call the cops," he spat. I swear, the air pressure dropped. I just watched numb as he snatched the card from my fingers. It wasn't just a rejection. It was personal, ugly. He slammed it down on the floor, and his polished Oxford shoe twisted, hard, grinding the card into the marble like a cigarette butt. That $5,000 limit card, the symbol of success he probably dreamed of, he just destroyed it, sneering loud enough for the whole silent, pristine lobby to hear. "Whatever corner you got this fake card from, take it back," he said. His clerk, a nervous young woman named Chelsea, giggled, that high-pitched, desperate sound of someone trying to be loyal to a bully. "Should I get the mop, Gareth? That card probably has diseases on it." My canvas sneakers didn't move. I felt every single racist instinct they possessed aimed right at my chest. I bent down slowly, picking up my trampled card. The metal was still warm from his shoe print. I slipped it into my bag, not saying a word, because the words forming in my throat weren't for him yet. They were for the board. "I have a penthouse reservation," I said, my voice quiet, steady, the voice I use when a CEO is trying to back out of a contract. I put my phone on the counter, the confirmation email glowing. The Argent Grand, Penthouse 45501. Guest, Maya Rivers. We're using Maya Rivers for this version. Sounds better, you know. Gareth barely glanced. "Anyone can Photoshop this garbage. You think we're stupid?" Chelsea, meanwhile, was typing frantically. "There is a Maya Rivers registered." But she looked up at me, then back at Gareth. "This can't be right." "What can't be right?" I asked. "Well, the real Maya Rivers would be," she gestured vaguely. "Different. Important, you know." Gareth leaned over the counter, his breath smelling of coffee and pure, unadulterated arrogance. "Let me break this down for you, sweetheart. This is a 5-star establishment. We host Fortune 500 CEOs, A-list celebrities, foreign diplomats. Look around." He gestured to the chandeliers, the Italian marble. "You see anyone else here dressed like they just rolled out of a Walmart parking lot?" It was 11:52 p.m. 6 minutes left until Tokyo. The atmosphere shifted. Guests started watching. An elderly couple in designer wear whispered behind their jeweled hands. A business executive paused his phone call. And then there was Jenna, a young woman in the seating area, who quietly started filming with her phone. I watched her screen light up, Instagram Live. "Y'all, I'm witnessing some serious discrimination at this fancy Chicago hotel right now. This is insane." The viewer count started to climb. 47, 89, 156. Gareth's confidence swelled. He loved the audience. "I've been in luxury hospitality for 8 years. I can spot a scammer from across the lobby. The way you walk, the way you talk, that cheap bag. It's all wrong." He pointed at my sneakers. "You know what those shoes tell me? They tell me you take the bus. They tell me you shop at thrift stores. They tell me you've never seen the inside of a place like this, except maybe cleaning it. Chelsea snickered. I just opened my bag slightly, revealing the corner of my first-class United boarding pass, Chicago to Tokyo, and next to it, the edge of my Centurion card, the one he'd just destroyed. I understand you're busy, I said, quiet as ever. But I really do need to check in. He laughed, sharp, cruel. Busy lady, I've got time. I've got all the time in the world to explain reality to you. This isn't some community center where you can just walk in and demand things. This is private property. My property to protect. That was the line that snapped the last bit of my patience. His property. The assistant manager, Pamela Wang, emerged from the back office. Gareth grabbed her arm immediately. Pat, we've got a situation here. Someone's trying to scam their way into the penthouse with fake documents and a sob story. Pamela's eyes swept over me, head to toe. The judgment was instantaneous, complete. Ma'am, I'm going to need to see some real identification. Government-issued photo ID that proves you can afford a $2,800 per night suite. The Instagram live viewer count hit 312. Comments were flooding in. This is 2025 and we are still dealing with this. Someone needs to check this hotel ASAP. Argent Hotels, your staff is racist. I pulled out my driver's license. Pamela examined it like a forensics expert, holding it up to the light, checking the hologram, even sniffing it. This could be fake too, she announced loudly. Identity theft is a serious crime. Gareth, should we call the police now or wait for security? Gareth nodded sagely. He was having the time of his life, playing to the room. He pulled out his phone. Chicago PD. Yes, this is Gareth Wallace, night manager at the Argent Grand Hotel. We have a suspected fraud situation. 54 p.m. 6 minutes remaining. I watched his theatrical performance, this complete lack of awareness, and a profound sadness washed over me. This wasn't just about me. This was systematic. Should I cancel the penthouse reservation? Chelsea whispered to Pamela. Open it up for someone who actually belongs here? Absolutely, Pamela replied. No point holding a room for someone who clearly can't afford it. My phone buzzed. Text from assistant. Yamamoto Industries calling in 6 minutes. Are you ready? I looked at them, standing there with their arms crossed like palace guards, while Chelsea was already typing, deleting my existence from their system. I'm ready, I whispered to myself. 11:55 p.m. Gareth snapped his fingers. Marcus! We need you up here. Security Chief Marcus Thompson emerged. He was a big guy, but his eyes were kind, and I saw a flicker of doubt in them. What's the problem, Gareth? We've got someone trying to scam their way into the penthouse. Gareth explained, his voice booming. Fake documents, fake cards, the whole 9 yards. Look at her, Marcus. Does she look like penthouse material to you? I mean, seriously, look. Marcus looked down at me. Ma'am, I'm going to need you to come with me. Officer Thompson, I said quietly, reading his name tag. Before you do anything, I strongly suggest you check your employee handbook, section 14.3 specifically. Marcus paused, confused. What are you talking about? Just check it, please. Gareth rolled his eyes. She's trying to confuse you with legal mumbo-jumbo. Classic scammer tactic. Jenna's live stream was now at 1,847 viewers. The comments were multiplying faster than she could read. Record everything. This hotel about to get dragged. Argent Hotel racism needs to trend. Pamela grabbed my phone off the counter. Let me take a closer look at this so-called reservation. She scrolled through the email. This is sophisticated. Professional format. Correct letterhead. Even the right confirmation number. But we know it's fake because... She gestured at my jeans again. Because look at her. It's not fake, I said simply. Sure it's not? Pamela snorted. And I'm Oprah Winfrey. Gareth, should we call the police now? Gareth was leaning into the spectacle. You know what I love about my job? Protecting honest, paying customers from people who think they can just walk in here and take what they want. He pointed at my messenger bag. You see that bag? I've seen better luggage at a gas station. Those shoes? Those are work shoes. Manual labor shoes, not penthouse shoes. Maybe she does own the place, called out a voice. Everyone turned. It was a young black man in a sharp business suit, a guest from room 2847. Gareth's face darkened. Excuse me, sir, but this is a private matter. Private matter? The man laughed, looking at the crowd of onlookers. Half of Chicago is watching this on Instagram Live right now. This is about as private as Times Square on New Year's Eve. Pamela was still examining my phone when her own device buzzed. She glanced at it, and her face went paper white. "Gareth," she whispered, "we might have a problem. I just got a text from corporate. They're asking about social media mentions. Discrimination complaints." Gareth waved dismissively. "Routine." "No, Gareth." Pamela's hands were shaking. "They're asking specifically about tonight, the Chicago location." "The night shift," his face started to drain. "That's impossible." I connected my laptop to the lobby's wall-mounted display. The Argent Group logo appeared, followed by a title slide. Operational Audit, Chicago Location, December 17th, 2025. The quiet authority of my voice cut through the silence. This wasn't anger. This was the calm professionalism of a CEO delivering judgment. The numbers were stark. Revenue down from $1.8 million to $1.2 million. Guest satisfaction plummeted to 2.3 out of 5 stars. Staff turnover at 89%. These numbers tell the story of a hotel where guests don't feel welcome, where employees don't want to work, and where management has lost control, I explained. Advancing the slides, Gareth Wallace, night manager. In the past 6 months, 23 formal complaints have been filed specifically about interactions with you. 17 written warnings were issued. Your last performance review rated you 1.8 out of 5 stars. Jenna's live stream was now well over 15,000 viewers. She's destroying them with facts. Receipts, Queen. Pamela Wong, assistant manager. 19 guest complaints in 6 months. 7 failed mystery shopper evaluations out of 8 attempts. Your diversity training has been overdue by 8 months. The pattern here isn't isolated incidents. This is systematic discrimination that has created a hostile environment. I walked closer to the counter. When I acquired this group, this Chicago location was flagged as our highest risk property for discrimination lawsuits. Our legal exposure has increased exponentially after tonight's performance, broadcasted to over 15,000 witnesses. Ma'am, please. I have a family. I have a mortgage. I didn't know who you were. Gareth pleaded. You didn't know I was the owner. I agreed. But you did know I was a human being who deserved basic respect. You made conscious choices about how to treat me based solely on my appearance and your own biases. Section 14.3 is very clear. I walked to the center of the lobby. Gareth Wallace, Pamela Wong, you have 3 choices, and I need your decisions immediately. I held up my fingers. 1. Immediate resignation. You leave quietly tonight. I provide neutral employment references that don't mention this incident. 2. Termination for cause. This incident goes on your permanent employment record. Possible civil litigation for brand damage. Future employers will see discrimination-related termination. 3. Corporate investigation. Full HR review, media attention. Your names are permanently attached to this incident in public records and news articles. You have 60 seconds to decide, I announced. Gareth's voice came out barely a whisper. I choose to resign. He pulled his name badge off and placed it on the marble counter. Patricia Wong, your decision. Resignation. Pamela choked out, tears streaming down her face. I'm so incredibly sorry. Your apologies are noted. I turned to Chelsea. Chelsea Mitchell, what's your choice? I want to learn, ma'am. I want to do better. I don't want to be the kind of person I was tonight. I studied her. Learning requires acknowledging what you did wrong. Can you do that? I participated in humiliating you, she said, her voice gaining strength. I laughed when I should have spoken up. I was cruel because I thought it would make me fit in with my co-workers. That's not me. That's honest. I turned to Marcus. Marcus Thompson, what's your decision? Marcus straightened to his full height. I want to help you fix this place, ma'am. What happened tonight should never happen to anyone, anywhere, ever again. I smiled for the first time, a genuine smile that felt warm after the coldness of the past hour. Then let's get to work. I projected a new presentation. Immediate reform implementation. Argent Grand Chicago. Chelsea, Marcus, you're about to participate in the most comprehensive hospitality reform program in our company's history. What you learn here will be rolled out to all 847 Argent properties worldwide. First order of business. I called the regional manager and put the call on speaker. Janet Davis, this is Maya Rivers. I need you to temporarily reassign Kesha Williams from our Boston location to manage Chicago starting tomorrow morning. Full authority to implement new protocols. Kesha Williams is a 15-year hospitality veteran who happens to be African American. She specializes in cultural transformation. Chelsea, your employment is probationary for the next 90 days. You'll undergo intensive retraining. Next slide. Technology solutions. We're implementing the Guest Dignity Initiative. Every guest interaction will be monitored. Guests can report discrimination instantly through QR codes, bypassing local management entirely. Marcus leaned forward. That's brilliant. No way for local staff to hide problems. Exactly. We're also installing security cameras with audio recording in all public spaces. Not to spy, but to protect everyone. I looked directly at the guests, still watching. To everyone who witnessed tonight's events, I want you to know that this is not representative of the Argent Hotel Group's values. The elderly woman in the silk dress spoke up. I feel terrible that we just sat here and watched. We should have said something. Part of our new initiative includes bystander intervention training for staff and guests, I said. We'll provide resources for people who witness discrimination. I handed Jenna, who was still live streaming, my liaison's card. This is Dr. Patricia Henderson from the Chicago Urban League. She'll be our community liaison, ensuring that our reforms have real accountability. Can I ask you something on camera? Jenna asked. How do you not hate them? How do you stay so calm after being treated like that? Hatred is exhausting, I said, considering the question. Revenge is temporary, but systematic change, that's permanent. I'd rather spend my energy ensuring no one else experiences what I experienced tonight. It was 12:15 a.m. Chelsea. Marcus, I'll see you both tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for your first reform training session. Get some rest. Tomorrow we begin rebuilding this hotel's soul. As the elevator doors closed, I allowed myself one deep, cleansing breath. The penthouse suite was waiting, but more importantly, real change was beginning. 3 months later, the Argent Grand Chicago displayed a 4.6-star rating. Revenue increased 34%. Chelsea Mitchell wore a supervisor uniform, greeting guests with genuine warmth. Marcus Thompson had become guest relations manager. I stood where Gareth had crushed my credit card. A small, subtle plaque was installed there. It read, "In recognition of the dignity owed to every guest." The Guest Dignity Initiative had spread to all Argent properties worldwide. Zero discrimination complaints. The reforms became a Harvard Business School case study. I pulled out my phone and recorded a final message. Discrimination still happens daily, in hotels, restaurants, stores across this country. But change is possible when people choose accountability over defensiveness. Share your discrimination experiences in the comments. Tag businesses that need reform. Subscribe to The River Speaks for more transformation victories. Remember this, your voice matters. Your story matters. And your dignity is non-negotiable.